Let's maul in the Central Committee. Let's cringe in the Central Committee. Let's bog in the Central Committee right now.
Why do they have such a hate burner for Bernie? Because Bernie... Here's the reason why libs hate Bernie. Bernie disproves everything they say about politics. He is uncorrupted. He gets things done. He does so through the support of white working class people. That's Bernie Sanders' base in Vermont. Everything they say about politics, that you can't focus on class and economics issues and you can't persuade white working class voters because there's too damn racist, Bernie Sanders disproves that. He disproves everything about their politics. They say that good things can't happen because of pragmatism, and then Bernie Sanders comes out of nowhere and does those good things, and their personal conception of themselves as more compassionate than right-wingers is undermined. And when you attack someone's personal narcissistic conception, they have a narcissistic rage. They have a narcissistic fit. And when they see Bernie Sanders, they have a narcissistic fit because his very existence attacks their self-conception. And here's the thing about Bernie Sanders is he is not what they say he is. He is a pragmatist. He absolutely is a pragmatist. Just ask John McCain. When Bernie Sanders and John McCain fixed the VA under Obama, saving Obama's ass, one of the few laws that were successfully passed under Obama's second term, that was Bernie Sanders. If you think Barack Obama was a successful president, what you really mean to say is Bernie Sanders was a successful president. Because everything that was good about Barack Obama was something that Bernie Sanders helped get done. Community health centers, the expansion of Medicaid and the ACA, and the fixing of the VA. And by the way, that's pretty much the sum total of what Barack Obama did as president. Bernie was on CNN about Neera.
For joining us, I want to get to several important critical issues. But first, what's your reaction to this news that Democratic Senator Manchin will not vote to confirm Neera Tanden for OMB? You, of course, questioned her about her tweets. She personally attacked you in some of those tweets. Is it time, do you believe, for President Biden to withdraw her nomination?
He's going to say no. Hard prediction, he's going to say no. But we'll see. We'll see.
What else potentially there?
Well, I worry less about what Ms. Tanden did in the past than what she's going to do in the future. I will be speaking to her early next week to get a sense of what she wants to do as head of the OMB. But so right now, let me just
ask you, Senator.
As the chairman of the Budget Committee,
would you vote to confirm her if it was the vote?
I'm going to be talking to her early next week. But what I am focusing on right now as chairman of the Budget Committee is the absolute necessity of us passing this COVID emergency relief bill, which is life and death for tens of millions of working class and middle class Americans. We have got to get those $1,400 direct payments into the pockets of every working class adult and their kids. We've got to extend unemployment benefits until September. And we, by expanding the child tax credit, can cut childhood poverty in America by 50%. And as the president just mentioned today, we have to do everything we can to increase the production of vaccines in America and get them into the arms of the American people.
I mean, the $1,400 check is good, but that child allowance is absolutely game changing. Like, if they pass that child allowance and it becomes permanent, like, it makes having a kid so much more reasonable for like people that are working class. It's unbelievable how much money that is. It's huge. It's huge. How can he pivot so easily from anything to directly to Medicare for all or stimulus? I know, he's amazing. I love him.
That's how we open our
Colonel
schools
Funk,
safely.
thanks for the 2-1, bud.
That's how we get workers back to work.
I want to talk about the COVID relief bill, which is so critical, as you correctly point out. But is my understanding correct that you have not yet made up your mind on whether to confirm Neera Tanden for OMB?
I will be talking to Ms. Tanden early in the week. We've talked once.
Oh my God, he's a Chad! He's a fucking Chad! I underestimated Bernie. I did the fatal flaw. I underestimated him. Just when I thought I completely underestimated him. He's a complete Chad. I was just wrong just now. Unbelievable.
I want to talk to her again. That is a very important position, and I want to know that the head of OMB is somebody who is going to be standing up for the working families of this country, for the middle class, for lower income people, and has the guts to stand up to the big money interests who have so much influence over what goes on in Washington.
Let's get to some of the specifics of the COVID relief bill. The White House responded, as you probably know.
Oh man, this is amazing. Bernie Sanders is such a Chad. I love, man, Bernie. Imagine if Bernie was our president right now. Like, Bernie being the chair of the budget committee is making me have hope. And hope is very important. I know that we have a strong advocate for regular people, and he's in every room. And he's gaining more and more and more supporters and allies in Congress, and you just love to see it. You just love to see it.
To a report that the president thinks it's unlikely the $15 minimum wage actually winds up staying in the deal. They say Biden hopes it remains, but knows it has to go through a lengthy Senate procedural parliamentary process. What are you hearing from the White House specifically on this?
Well, it's not the White House that matters on this one. It's what my committee is doing, what the Health and Education Committee is doing, the Finance Committee with Senator Schumer and leadership are doing. And all of us are working together to, and I won't bore the American people with the arcane rules of the Senate, but what we have got to do is convince the parliamentarian, one person, that the $15 an hour minimum wage, which in my view we desperately need, is consistent with the rules of the Senate and reconciliation. We made, all these committees and their lawyers made those arguments. I think that they are right. I think we're on the right side, and I think we can win that argument. We'll know about that probably definitively next week.
As you know, right now.
So this is incredible. Do you guys understand what he just said? Do you understand what Bernie Sanders just said? Do you get it? He just said Joe Biden is irrelevant. He just said, I don't care what the White House says. He says, I'm working with Chuck Schumer, I work with Nancy Pelosi, and other Democrats in the Senate, and they're behind me on the $15 minimum wage. Joe Biden can go around and say whatever the fuck he wants. Doesn't matter. He's irrelevant. This is the political equivalent of taking your dick and slapping it across someone's face live on TV. Now, for most of you who probably just thought, oh, that was Bernie Sanders kind of boringly talking about stuff. But let's play it one more time, and you'll understand what I'm trying to say. What the hell? This is incredible.
And I won't bore the American people with the arcane rules of the Senate, but what we have got to do is convince
the whole thing.
To a report that the president thinks it's unlikely the $15 minimum wage actually winds up staying in the deal. They say Biden hopes it remains, but knows it has to go through a lengthy Senate procedural parliamentary process. What are you hearing from the White House specifically on this?
Well, it's not the White House that matters on this one. It's what my committee is doing, what the Health and Education Committee is doing, the Finance Committee with Senator Schumer and leadership are doing. And all of us are working together and I won't bore the American people.
Okay, I'm old. You're not old, and you're probably not involved in politics. You don't understand just how much Bernie Sanders just humiliated Joe Biden. This would never have happened in 2009. To go, it doesn't matter, to openly say a month into the term, this is his month anniversary, by the way, today, 1 month into a new president's term, that it doesn't matter what the White House says. This is the chair of the budget committee of his same party. Is Joe Biden the weakest newly elected president we've ever had? Like, politically, has there ever been a weaker newly elected president? Ever? Like, this is incredible. It's incredible. He's being owned by the left of his party and the right of his party, Joe Biden. He's just getting humiliated left and right. Also, I didn't even mention this, but Bernie Sanders has a Black Lives Matter sign, like flag, waving in the background. I think this is Burlington, Main Street, Burlington. His backdrop, beautiful, fresh covered snow, Black Lives Matter sign or flag right behind him. Bernie Sanders is incredible. By the way, we have BLM cheer. We have a Peepo holding Black Lives Matter sign. He's so cute. I love the little Peepo holding the Black Lives Matter sign. Whee! There's no black people in Burlington, so that's based as fuck. I mean, Vermont is white as fuck. Vermont, I think, is the whitest state. I'm just amazed. I'm just amazed at how much Joe Biden is being, frankly, slapped around by Bernie Sanders. If you trust Bernie Sanders, let me just say this. You are correct. He may be the best politician we've had in America going back ever? Decades? I can't think of a senator who I like more than Bernie Sanders in all of American history. I mean, there's some Chads. I mean, Thad was a Chad. Thaddeus Stevens wasn't a senator. He was a congressman. Thaddeus Stevens was kind of a Chad. But, you know, that's 1860. Debs was never even in the Senate. Debs never had the victories that Bernie has had. Hubert Humphrey, you know, Humphrey is frankly underrated. The Vietnam War really fucked up Hubert Humphrey, although Hubert Humphrey isn't that great. Hubert Humphrey really got fucked by the Vietnam War. LBJ really fucked up bad. I often think about how our country would be totally different but for the Vietnam War. The Vietnam War annihilated the left. It totally destroyed the left in America. People think of it as a time when like the left grew. No, the Vietnam War fragmented and divided the left so hard that it was smashed into pieces and never has recovered, because like organized labor backed LBJ and a lot of grassroots young people were like fuck the Vietnam War, and it caused these huge cleavages that just never got healed. Because organized labor was like, LBJ's our man, you know, ride or die for LBJ. And a bunch of people were like, this is a horrible imperialist war. And that destroyed the left, and it's never recovered. And even to this day, it's not recovered, quite frankly, from that. Vietnam War ruined. I actually unironically agree that the Vietnam War was probably the most debased thing America has ever done, and we've done a lot of debased shit, and it's ain't still to this day. It's like slavery. Vietnam War and slavery are the two sins of America that have just never been dealt with, never fully understood and reckoned with. They're so evil. It's mind-boggling how evil the Vietnam War was. If you go look up the Vietnam War, you cannot be happy that we lost. We deserve to lose. It almost gives you hope. And then the 60s created a culture war too. Absolutely. Read the Jakarta method. Oh God, Jakarta method is so good. Can we throw the wars we're still in there up there for the same reason? Yeah, oh, absolutely. They're terrible. Okay, let's get back to Bernie Sanders being a Chad.
With the arcane rules of the Senate. But what we have got to do is convince the parliamentarian, one person, that the $15 an hour minimum wage,
indigenous people in America too, absolutely,
is consistent with the rules of the Senate and reconciliation. We made, all these committees and their lawyers made those arguments. I think that they are right. I think we're on the right side, and I think we can win that argument. We'll know about that probably definitively next week.
As you know, right now the minimum wage is only $7.25 an hour, and it's been like that since 2009. If it were included in the new legislation, it would immediately, I understand, go up to $9.50 an hour. Then there would be annual increases, but gradually it wouldn't get to $15 an hour until 2025. Is that your understanding as well?
Well, it's not my understanding, Wolf. I wrote the bill. That's what it is. And I appreciate you making that point, because a lot of people are saying, oh my God, it's $7.25 right now, and if we raise it to $15 an hour next year, a lot of businesses are going to have trouble accommodating that increase. And the answer is, you've just indicated, it is not. It's going to go up gradually until 2025. And furthermore, we intend to provide tax credits to small businesses to help them with this wage increase. But this is a gradual increase. And look, Wolf, if you were to ask me what the major economic crisis in this country is today, it's not just unemployment. It is the fact that half of our workers are living paycheck to paycheck, and millions of people are working.
So there's another thing that's not being, listen, a lot of people are right to say it should be 15 already. And you're right about that. You're absolutely right about that. What Bernie Sanders is trying to do here is, first of all, the step-ups every year vastly outpace inflation. And so by the time we hit 2025, it'll be $50 an hour. So on inflation, it would be like $13.50 today. Something around there. 14, $13.50, not quite 15. However, every year after that, whoever's in charge of the Department of Labor can increase the minimum wage themselves without using Congress. So if you have a more left-wing Department of Labor, he can increase the minimum wage, and it's indexed to the median wage. So if you can get wages to grow up in the economy as a whole, that median wage grows every year, year in and year out. It actually grows faster than inflation typically. So that minimum wage bill rapidly starts going above 15. So this is not a $15 minimum wage. This is a $60 minimum wage, a $70 minimum wage, and $20 minimum wage. It's an automatic increaser, which is a total game changer. The original $15, just saying $15 an hour is very catchy. But the reality of this is it's better than that. This would fundamentally make America's minimum wage, I think we would have the third highest in the world, and we would have one of the best minimum wage laws in the world. Why is that great? Because Bernie Sanders wrote the fucking bill. Of course it will become the best. We go from being the fucking worst in the developed world to the best or near best. That's Bernie Sanders.
Starvation wages. You cannot survive in any state in this country on $8 or $9 an hour. You certainly cannot raise your kids.
Can the Department of Labor decrease it? No. It has an inflator, but it forbids deflation. Good question, Spank Shamu. You thought of, what if a right-wing labor secretary goes in? Could he decrease it? And the answer is no. In the law, it doesn't allow it to be decreased. It can only be increased. How many people in the U.S. have minimum wage jobs? It depends upon what you define the minimum wage. If you're talking about the $7.25, very few people have $7.25 an hour now. But a lot of people would have their wages increased by the $15 minimum wage. There's a gap of people that don't make $7.25 an hour, but also don't make 15. So that number is a lot larger than the people who make the $7.25.
Those wages. We need the minimum wage to be a living wage, and conservatively speaking, $15 by 2025 is what we've got to do. I would go further, but I'm
gotta be quicker.
And a lot of people don't appreciate that. It's really sad that for 11 or 12 years, it's remained at only $7.20.
Wow. Wolf Blitzer editorializing. Are you guys seeing this? Wolf is a straight news guy. He doesn't do stuff like this often.
$15 by 2025 is what we've got to do. I would go further, but I'll accept that.
And a lot of people don't appreciate that. It's really sad that for 11 or 12 years, it's remained at only $7.25 an hour. You can't make a living. You're in poverty if that's what you're making right now. So it's got to go up, and let's see if it does go up. But you know, there are some, not just Republicans, but some Democrats who are opposing a raise, and they'll say they'll vote against the entire package if it's included. What do you say to them, like Senator Manchin, Senator Sinema, for example?
Well, what I say is, look, there are 50 Democrats, and any one can torpedo any piece of legislation. But I believe that in this unprecedented moment in American history, Wolf, where so many people are suffering, working class people worried about feeding their kids, worried about being evicted, paying a doctor's bill. I believe we're all going to stand together. We're going to support the president, notwithstanding, our differences on this or that aspect. I have differences with the bill. But at the end of the day, what the American people are saying in overwhelming numbers is we are hurting. We are worried about our kids. We're worried about our parents. Help us. And if we are one country, and if the government is supposed to represent the people of this country, we have got to act. We've got to act decisively. And I am confident that every member of the Democratic caucus, and hopefully some Republicans, will do that.
Well, they're going to have to make up their minds very quickly because it's coming up. It's got to come up soon. By mid-March, it's got to be passed. Otherwise, a lot more people are going to be suffering right now. Senator Sanders, thanks so much for joining us.
Jesus. Wow. What is with Wolf? He was in a bad mood. Wolf was in a bad mood. He let a lot of opinions fly there. Typically, he doesn't do that. If you want more leftists on this platform and other platforms that actually go into deep dives about issues like finance and electoral politics, you're never going to find a better stream than this one. Here's some things you can do. I posted YouTube content constantly. We had another Jimmy Dore video. We had a not safe for stream debate with conservatives where Vosh and I and Denims debated with a bunch of conservatives about voter fraud. You have the dumbass takes of uniting with fascists. Get in there. Get in there.